Now, some huge breaking news just dropped yesterday. Woj and Shams both reported it. Kyrie Irving is being sent to the Dallas Mavericks now. This is the last place I thought he was going to be sent to out of the options. I was high on the Clippers, the Heat, even the Lakers was the obvious choice. But one of my other favorites was the Chicago Bulls. We're not going to get into that because we didn't obviously get him. But Dallas Mavericks, I think this is an interesting move for them because obviously Luka needs a second superstar. He needs a second guy. Kristaps Porzingis wasn't that guy. We knew he wasn't that guy, but he was just standing at the 3-point line, being 7 feet tall, not doing shit. But getting that superstar, that second guy for Luka was important to Mark Cuban, obviously, and he made the trade for Kyrie Irving, which is, not a good second superstar to have, not the most reliable guy, but when it's all about basketball, when he's on the court, straight hooper. There's not a lot of guys that are better than Kyrie when it comes to just balling on the court. Now, Luka obviously is the MVP candidate this year, balling out of his mind. And it's interesting because he's a ball dominant guy. He's going to have the ball most of the time. So how are him and Kyrie going to gel with that, dynamic? But the Mavs, it's going to be interesting to see. I just don't see them winning a championship within this year or next year, possibly if Kyrie stays. I don't think they have enough. Getting rid of some key guys, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, getting rid of those guys is going to, take a huge, chunk out of their bench. Some of the guys are role players. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dallas, do they make some more moves? I think they should get some more guys, possibly some guys in the buyout market, possibly a guy like Terrence Ross, another shooter. They need some guys off the bench. But on the other side with Brooklyn, I think they won this trade. I think they won this trade because long-term terms, I think they won it because Kyrie Irving, not a guy you can really trust. I'm very high on Kyrie Irving. I'm not going to go out here, slander him, call him selfish, call him an idiot, whatever, how all the other people will treat him in, sports media and all that stuff. But I think moving on from Kyrie, especially, he was playing very good ball, all-star, obviously, but another thing happening. It just came into another thing transpiring with him not getting the deal he wanted. So he's going to request a trade. This time they dealt him. They didn't deal him to where he wanted to play at. That's another thing to keep in mind. They didn't deal him to the Lakers. They didn't deal him to the other options that he possibly wanted to play more than in Dallas. So I think that was a good move by the GM, Joe Tsai. I think that was a great move. But Brooklyn, I think they won this trade because Dorian Finney-Smith is a great wing to put him on this roster. And I think Brooklyn's still talented with losing Kyrie Irving. But it comes to the point where Ben Simmons is now your second best guy. Claxton's been balling out. He'd probably be the second best option. But when Kevin Durant comes back, what does his team look like? How does Kevin Durant feel with this team? But still, Brooklyn, I think they won this trade. Because you get a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, you get a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith. Picks don't really matter, but you get some picks back. And longevity-wise, long-term aspect of things, you don't have that headache, that problem that you had with Kyrie Irving when there's always something. And that just affects the culture, that affects the team, that it affects them being able to get something out of this season, get a good deep playoff run. Something's always going to happen when you have a guy like Kyrie Irving. No shot at him. He's a baller, but hopefully it works out for him in Dallas, and hopefully it works out with Brooklyn. Hopefully, if Brooklyn makes another move, they go out and get a big like Mo Bamba, another guy to go on that front court, that big center, somebody that can defend behind Claxton. They might be on to something because when this Brooklyn team is healthy, Seth Curry, when he's healthy, they got a bunch of shooters. TJ Warren was even playing good when he was healthy as well. So if they get these guys healthier, Ben Simmons, if he starts to play a lot better, which is shit, he might be next. They might deal his ass too. Who knows? But I really like what Brooklyn's got so far, even without Kyrie Irving. So should be interesting to see going forward. But out of both these teams, I think Brooklyn won the trade because you're not getting a championship, and it's championship or bust with having Kyrie Irving and having, Kevin Durant. You have that talent. You want something out of it, but pairing the two, Luka and Kyrie, is going to be fun to watch, but they won't get the chip. It's just crazy to think. I mean, you had three superstars on the team a couple seasons ago: Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant. What did that amount to? It amounted to nothing. You trade James Harden the last deadline to the Sixers. It amounted to nothing. This year, it amounted to you getting swept by Boston. So, and then this year you trade Kyrie at the next deadline over to Dallas, and it's now just Kevin Durant standing. So Brooklyn, they got a lot of stuff to figure out. It's just been a really bad makeup with all the superstars they have. That just really shows you that no matter how much talent you got on your roster, if those guys don't work together, it won't matter. It won't matter. So, but like I said, I think Brooklyn won the trade. It's going to be interesting to see how those things develop. I will watch the Dallas Mavericks a lot more now with Kyrie Irving and Luka. That's going to be, prime time TV, prime time basketball watching. So I'm excited to see that. And then, hopefully Brooklyn can, get past, getting rid of a guy like Kyrie Irving. I think they will. They get him another guy like Mo Bamba. They make some more moves. It's going to be great to watch for them. I think they're still a playoff team, but either of these teams are not going to win a chip. Kyrie should have went to the Lakers. I think that would have been the best spot for him. I think LeBron would have kept him in check the most and would have made the most impact on Kyrie. But he's going to be gone next year. Who knows with Kyrie? He might be gone next year right out the door, but we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to cover more of this stuff, the deadline, all that stuff on our episode on Tuesday, which will drop Wednesday. So we're going to have all that stuff covered for you guys. Let me know in the comments who you think won the trade. But as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. As always, peace.
The Eagles 49ers game, it was a crazy fucking game, man. Just everything that could go wrong for the 49ers team went wrong. You see Bosa get banged up.